across escarpments here that have just been channeled away to build the freeway. And it might be an easy description for you to see on the top, whether you've got any topsoils, subsoils that the early British could have established an industry of agriculture on. Certainly not. So it was a very troublesome feature of Sydney. Although the harbour was, in a navigation or naval sort of sense, perfect. A perfect harbour. If you were a navy person. But once they enjoyed the harbour and stepped ashore and then had to think about growing food, raising livestock and such like that, well, that's when Sydney showed its negative side for them. Now underneath this sandstone, folks, just very briefly, if you could picture Sydney sitting on what looks like a giant saucer, a giant massive saucer, this sandstone here all over Sydney, and we know it as the Cumberland Plains, the Sydney Basin. Now underneath this sandstone, deep within it, below us here, is a subsequent presentation of shale that was utilised in the Eocene period, shale oil, powering a lot of the early lamps. And then deeper underneath this, following the layering of this great saucer effect, is very big, folks. Makes Australia a lot of money. High grade, low sulphur, metallurgical or coking coal. Now if you can just imagine sort of a layering effect, this saucer, this vein of coal, deep massive vein of coal, comes closer to the surface at the edge of the saucer of this basin. So we have mining. Down south, Coalcliff, Port Kembla, mining of coal. Around to the southwest, you have the Illawarra Plateau, mining of coal. Up into the Blue Mountains, mining of coal. To the north, I would love to be able to tell you that the Hunter Valley is all about beautiful wineries and lovely gardens. But in actual fact, they are not even one grain of sand on a Sydney beach compared to the massive coal mining throughout the Hunter Valley. At the head of the Hunter Valley, where the Hunter River flows out to sea, is what we call Port Hunter. And at present, Port Hunter is the largest by tonnage moved coal loading facility in the world. Now don't be concerned, folks, because I'm going to weasel my way through the Hunter Valley and keep those horrid industrial open cut and underground coal mining ventures from your eyes. But just be aware that the Hunter Valley is primary industry is mining of extraordinary quantities of very high grade coal. Yes, we used to ship it, used to be the main shipment, well still up the top there was Japan over many decades. So we've had a long association shipping our resources, coal from the east coast, iron ore from the west coast of Australia. Not long after selling the Japan our coal, they sell it back to us. That's nice. We sell it to them and then they politely sell it back to us. But it's not called coal then, it's called Toyota. Masuda Honda. So that's the way things work. This is taking us through, ostensibly the suburbs are going through on the left hand side, not that you can see a lot of them, but over to the right hand side, you do have the Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park. This is the second largest of our 14 major national parks throughout the fringes of Sydney. The largest one formulates the southern boundary of Sydney as the oldest in Australia, the second oldest in the world. Only grown beer 22 days, but will be officially open. That title, of course, goes to Yellowstone National Park in the United States, and then 22 days later, Australia stepped up and officially opened, in honour of Queen Victoria of Britain, the Royal National Park, south of Sydney. And this is the Ku-ring-gai, gets its name from the local people, the indigenous people living on this northern district of Sydney up to the Hawkesbury River, the Ku-ring-gai people. So it's called the Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park. Lovely. Integrated and with a fine network of little rivers and streams and waterways. So keep your eye out, folks. Over to the right, you'll get Berowra waters, some glimpses of Berowra waters. Over to the left, you'll get some glimpses of Cowan waters. They're all part of the big river that we're coming down across. But certainly, folks, getting yourself out on a lovely day like this, blue sky, summertime, Sunday, nice, get out on the quiet, beautiful, serene waters with a boat, with family, friends, whatever the case may be, and go adventuring up some of these lovely waterways. Is just simply delightful. Stop somewhere for the old famous Australian Aussie barbecue, maybe with a little bit of produce coming out of the Hunter Valley. Oh yeah, certainly the day for it. You'll find a lot of Sydney families will be doing just that today on the Hawkesbury and some of these beautiful waterways on the Hawkesbury. Very shortly we'll be leaving Sydney and entering what is known as the central coast of New South Wales. The state of New South Wales. The capital city is, there you might see some signs to Gosford. It sits on what is known as Brisbane Waters, which is the northern little waterways of the big river. Hawkesbury. Lovely little waterways up there. When I was a child, which I can assure you a long time ago, my family, my mum and dad, used to take my sister and I on our annual holidays. Around this time, we'd be, when I was a child this time of the year, my mum and dad would have had jumped in the little family car and ventured up here to the waterways of Brisbane Waters, Ocean Beach, Ettalong Beach, there's quite a number of them. Lovely little beaches for my sister and I to play and getting away and having a holiday. These days, I would say to you, with the modern transport, both rail and the freeways here, we would probably more a weekend away sort of area than annual holidays of yesteryear.